Okay, so let's talk about air pollution. This is something that I can go on and on and on about. I have a degree in environmental engineering, so we did a lot of studies on air pollution, especially indoor air pollution. A lot of people don't know that the products that we purchase to bring into our home off-gases a lot of toxins. Like almost everything in your home will off-gas something. So indoor air pollution is something that's really important, especially with the amount of time that we're spending inside of our homes. I think it's upwards to like 90% of our time is spent indoors, either it be like at home or we're spending time at work inside. So air pollution is something that's really important, and the cause of this is poor ventilation. So if you aren't ventilating your home, a lot of these chemicals and toxins are going to be staying inside of your home and there's nowhere for it to go. Okay, so some sources of air pollution. You got VOCs. I'm sure you've heard of VOCs. They stand for volatile organic compounds. There are all sorts of things that contain VOCs. I have a list right here. I'll just name some things off. So they can come from paint, fossil fuel, secondhand smoke, plastics, off-gas VOCs, even dry cleaners. They actually capture VOCs, so it's not released into the air outside, but they're not always 100% efficient at doing that. So you can get VOCs with your dry cleaning. There's also something called sick building syndrome. So generally, like new buildings, they have new furnishings, they have new wall coverings, new office equipment like printers and stuff. Sometimes people start getting sick, and you have the entire office being sick. And this is because a lot of these new furnishings and new things are off-gassing all of these chemicals. And it's just getting everybody sick. So if there's not adequate ventilation, you can definitely affect the health of the occupants of your home. And also, new cars smell. It's kind of funny. People say how they love the new car smell. Well, that new car smell is VOC. It's the new plastic that's off-gassing all of those chemicals. So if you have a car, it's recommended that when you drive it, to keep the windows down so you airs out the car to get all of those chemicals out of your breathing air. Okay, so then off-gas, I just mentioned off-gas for a few things. Off-gas essentially is any physical item that releases chemicals into the air. So if you've noticed, if you got like a new mattress online or whatever, then you have to cut it open, and it's the kind that expands, and you smell this really strong chemical smell. That chemical smell is off gas, right? It's the chemicals that are just coming out of the product and into your breathing air. Things like carpets and couches, what those smells are. So carpets, they're treated with flame retardants, anti-mold and mildew treatments, bug repellents, anti-stain treatments, things like that. All of those things are going to be released into your breathing air. And it's especially worrisome when you have young children who are crawling in the carpet, and they're touching the carpet with their hand, and they're picking up toys, putting those in their mouths. So they're essentially they're bringing those chemicals into their body that way. So it's definitely something to think about. And if you get new carpet put in, or something like that, or you get a new couch, really try to air out your house to get those toxins out of your breathing air, because they really aren't any good for you. Other things that off-gas chemicals, cleaning supplies, mattresses, plywood, dryer sheets, electronics do it, and non-stick pans also do it. So when you're cooking with non-stick pans, when you heat the pans up, the non-stick is going to be off-gassing chemicals. And not only happens to things that we make, but also things like extra virgin olive oil. If you burn extra virgin olive oil at high temperatures, which we generally all do when we're using oil, it's going to change the chemical structure of that olive oil, and it's going to create a toxic gas. So it's kind of crazy that it's not more known. So if you're going to, totally side note, but if you're gonna cook with olive oil, don't use extra virgin olive oil, just use regular olive oil. And you can find it at the supermarket, you just gotta look for it. Okay, so also issues with air pollution, you got mold and mildew, which is associated with high humidity levels in your home. Some electronics produce ozone, so air purifiers, ironically, sometimes produce ozone and actually make the air worse. Backdraft, like we just spoke about earlier, you can get backdraft into your home of carbon monoxide from combustion appliances. Radon is also an issue that we're going to talk about in the next section. And building material as well. So if you're like painting, you know, that obviously is not good to breathe in. Some treated woods will off-gas chemicals. It's just everything. It's just everything. Everything can off-gas. So that's why ventilation is so important in your home. So it's actually a really cool product for monitoring your air quality. And I have it linked here. I don't quite remember what it is. I believe it is a plug that you plug in, and it constantly is monitoring your air quality. And there are also some baby monitors that will monitor your air quality. I believe Arlo, the Arlo security system, their baby monitor will monitor the VOC levels for you. So that's pretty cool too. So again, the solution is just to ventilate your home, and I would suggest using a filtered ventilation system, because you don't just have air pollution inside of your home, we also have it outside of your home. So if you are an allergy sufferer, you don't want to bring in outside air that has a lot of pollen in it, right? So you're going to want to filter that ventilated air so that the air you're getting in your home is free of pollen. Or if you live near a freeway, you're not going to want to get that freeway air, you know, into your house. You're going to want to filter it before you bring it in your home. And then also air purifiers. Again, like I said, make sure you get an ozone-free air purifier. I have a link here. This is the one I use in my home, in my son's room actually. So these links, they're clickable if you go see the slideshow that I posted at the end of this lesson. And also in the description section of that lesson, those links are also clickable as well. So that's that. Let's move on to the next section.